The greatest generation, born 1901 to 1927. Picture yourself as a 10-year-old child watching your father lose his entire world. Not just his job, his life savings, the family home, the quiet certainty that tomorrow would hold more promise than today. That was the Great Depression. For the people history would later call the greatest generation, this wasn't a chapter in a textbook, it was their childhood. From a very young age, you understood a brutal truth. The world owes you nothing. You saw your parents stretch one simple meal across several days. You wore your older siblings' hand-me-down shoes until your toes curled painfully against the front. You never asked for more, because you could see exactly what more cost the people around you. Then, just as you reached adulthood, the world demanded something else entirely. It called on you to fight. World War II didn't merely shape this generation, it forged them in fire. 18-year-olds stormed enemy beaches under gunfire. 19-year-olds flew bombing runs through deadly skies over Europe. Those who stayed behind rationed every grain of sugar, planted victory gardens, and worked factory shifts until their hands bled and cracked. When an entire society endures unrelenting, shared hardship, it changes people deeply. It hardens them, not into something cold, but into something unbreakable. For this generation, though, it wasn't a theory or a mindset they analysed, it was simply life. That's why they rarely spoke about their inner pain, not because they felt nothing, but because they came from a time when emotions felt like an unaffordable luxury. You didn't sit down to process trauma, you buried it deep, kept moving forward. There was a war to win, a family to feed, a future to rebuild. The silent generation. You are born between 1928 and 1945. By the time you begin forming memories, the world is already unstable. The Great Depression isn't something adults explain to you, it's something you observe. Food is stretched carefully, leftovers are reused. Your father leaves early each morning, not always certain there will be work waiting. If you grow up in the plains, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, you remember the sky darkening in the middle of the day. Dust fills the air, windows are sealed. Cloth is placed over a child's face so they can breathe. Some families load everything they own into a truck and head west, hoping for opportunity, not knowing if they'll be accepted. You notice something else. Adults don't always have answers. So you stop asking certain questions. Then war reshapes the horizon. Brothers, neighbors, classmates leave. Some return, some don't. Even if you're too young to fight, you feel the absence. You sit by the radio, hearing names of distant places that suddenly matter. By the time peace arrives, you've absorbed a quiet lesson. Safety comes from blending in. Keep your head down. Follow the rules. During the Red Scare, you watch people lose jobs for the wrong association, the wrong comment, the wrong meeting years earlier. You learn that words have consequences. So you build your life carefully. A steady job, a stable home, predictability over risk. You don't seek attention, you seek security. And while louder generations speak out, you show up. On time, every day, reliable, unshaken. For you, silence isn't weakness. It's what kept everything together. The baby boomers generation. You're born between 1946 and 1964. The war has ended. Factories that once built tanks now build cars and refrigerators. Neighborhoods are expanding. Houses line new suburban streets. Lawns are trimmed. Televisions glow in living rooms. Your parents carry stories they don't always tell. They lived through the Depression. They fought in the war or waited at home. What they want now is stability. A house, a steady job, children who won't have to struggle the same way they did. And then you arrive. Millions of you. Classrooms fill, schools expand. The country feels young again. For the first time in decades, the future feels promising. College becomes attainable. Jobs are available. Wages rise. The message around you is simple: work hard and life will improve. But beneath that optimism, there is tension. You grow up in a time of rapid change. Civil rights movements challenge old systems. The Vietnam War divides opinions. Authority, once unquestioned, becomes something to debate. Television brings distant conflicts directly into your home. You're raised with stability, yet you come of age during upheaval. So you carry two influences at once: your parents' desire for security and your generation's push for reform. You believe in opportunity, but you also question limits. You want prosperity and purpose. That combination defines you. You grow into adults who compete, achieve, accumulate, and influence. You build careers. You invest. You reshape institutions. Some of you challenge tradition, others protect it. You were born into expansion, and you learned to expect growth as normal. For you, the future isn't something to endure, it's something to pursue.